Hi guys, welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. Back to normality. So this is what we eat in a week. So we have beef stew. Num num. If I want something easy, this is what I'm going to do. Throw it in the slow cooker and leave it. Then we have some chips, beans. We've got a mixture of katsu chicken and salt and pepper shrimp. Then we have what was left. What was left? What was this? This was New Year's Day dinner. It wasn't what was left. Gosh. And that's the doggies. Then Steve made some pizzas. How anyone could put pineapple on a pizza is beyond me. But whatever. Whatever. That's salmon covered with sweet chilli sauce, new potatoes and corn. What am I doing now? Oh, I'm going to make some Indian rice. And I've got some lamb koftas to go with it. So I'm using the saute function on the multicooker. You all know I love this thing. Absolutely love it. Now I've stopped using my metal, you know, my spice container. I've stopped using that because it scratched the bottom of this. But even though it's scratched, not a thing sticks to it. So I'm real pleased with that. I'm going to add in the spices because I want to cook off the spices, bring out the flavour in them. Most spices, I mean, people have got at home anyway. I will put the recipe underneath, guys. So yeah, the saute function's a bit like a frying pan for anyone that's not got one of these. So you could do this in a frying pan. And then when it comes to cook your rice, you'd obviously have to cook it how you normally would. So put your spices in. We've got some turmeric, cumin, coriander, ginger. I was going to say vanilla then. Cinnamon, the cinnamon quill. These are so cheap to buy as well, guys. Some cardamom going in there. So just cook off them like you would flour. Just cook these spices through for a minute or so. A bit more oil, it's a bit dry in there. The onions have soaked it up. You can see them scratches, them big scratches. They were from that that spice thing of mine. I seen them, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna stick. Still, absolutely nothing sticks. I'd rather the scratches weren't there, but you know, it is what it is. So in here, I've got onions and mushroom spices. I'm gonna put pistachios in there as well. And some cranberry. I've gone somewhere to get some cranberry. There we go. I'm just putting in what I want. I haven't particularly measured it, but I will put measured amounts in the recipe box. Mushrooms are a bit like sponges, so the oil you put in, they're just going to suck it all up. So I'm using basmati rice for this, and this multi-cooker I don't have to change anything about, just switch it to the rice function and that's it. So I've weighed and washed my rice. And I'll add the appropriate amount of liquid, put it on the rice function and off we go. Oh, the amount of times I do that. Must be 3 or 4 times a week, you know. So I'm just measuring the right amount of water here. Always important with rice. So what I would do differently, because I forgot to do it, is I would add a stock cube to that, whichever flavour you feel goes with the meat that you're eating. I forgot to add it, and it does make a difference. So rice function, and that was the rice after it was cooked. And there's the lamb koftas. So we're now on Sunday. So I'm just going to add the fish. I always use smoked fish for a fish pie. These look like nice big pieces of fish. All of it does when it goes in, but trust me, you need more than you think. I mean, they're all good sized pieces. There is not as much as you think. By the time it's cooked, it's shrunk down quite a lot. So I'm going to leave these to simmer, which I did. So that smoked fish is also going to flavour your liquid, because that liquid you're going to use for your sauce. Take your fish out. I do also have some prawns that at the top. So I'm just going to layer the fish. All this got eaten yesterday. Just break it up into chunks. I mean, those that have seen me make a fish pie before, I mean, you don't have to watch this. But there's other people maybe not seen it before. It's not a difficult thing to make. But if you've never made it before. That's it. Just keep dotting the fish about everywhere. You see, I've not washed out that pan. I want the flavour that's in that pan. For when I do my sauce. So these prawns were jumbo king prawns. So what I've done is literally slice them lengthways down their centre and cut them in half. Some of them I've even chopped the tail section off on its own, as you can see there. Because they were just too big. I mean, Amy would have loved it, getting a jumbo king prawn in every bite. But this way, there was loads in there and everyone got a good amount. So I've got some butter in the pan. I'm going to add some cream cheese. I don't weigh it because I know how much it's going to need, if you know what I mean. So it depends on the size of your dish and how much you need to make, I suppose. So just use my sauce as a guide sort of thing. I would prefer whole grain mustard. Leaves a nicer look to the sauce. But the next best option is Dijon. Also, I would like fresh garlic in here, but I've run out of my kilo jar and I'm waiting for the new ones to come. So I had to use garlic powder, which you'll see in a bit. You just make do with what you got. I mean, it's simple as that, isn't it? I'm not going to send him out to buy me some garlic when I know I've got some coming in, so. And I can't anyway because Steve's got a fractured foot. This is from an injury ages ago that he never got sorted out. He thought he'd just banged it, sort of thing. But it's been swelling on and off. Anyway, he got it x-rayed, it's fractured. He's got to have a steroid injection in it, see if that helps. And he's also got the flu. He's got the full-on flu, sweats all last night, bless him, so yeah. The kids, they've got a sniffle. Oh, and he's got that cough as well. I think it's just going round at the minute. So just keep, now you put the flour in, just cook the flour out. And so long as you whisk this, in between adding your milk, you're not going to end up with lumps in this because of the fat. So this is the milk that I kept from cooking the fish. You can see it soaks up that milk real fast. Don't get worried when it goes like this, it's supposed to. So I'm just getting out what lumps I can. Bit more milk. Whisk and get them lumps of flour out, and I promise you they will disappear. It's getting thicker but smoother. Just keep going with your milk until you get the desired thickness that you want. Now you know there's no lumps, you can add a bit more milk at a time. Keep the heat going, and this will thicken up again, as you can see. You can add some parsley. Add fresh by all means. I do have some fresh that I chopped up and froze, but at this point in time I couldn't bother to root through the freezer for it. I've added a little bit more milk. I didn't use all the milk. Just discard whatever milk you don't use. Now I'm going to add in, what am I adding in now? I did add cheese into there, guys. It's been cut out. I'm not going to moan at him because it's not very well. I added cheese in there, and it was a couple of good handfuls, and just melted that. Just going to make a good layer of sauce over this fish. Just scattered a few frozen vegetables over it. Cover it with mash and cheese. Do your mash how you prefer it yourself. That's the sauce that's left over. I'll just warm that up when it comes time to dish up. Like I say, this entire pie disappeared. Had an apple crumble as well, and the kids had some hot apple crumble with some cold ice cream on the side. So I've not filled it. I've only filled it with potato. That's why there was no waste. It didn't need to be filled. If I was feeding 6 of us and not the 4, then I would have probably filled it, stretched it. But I didn't need to, so. Again, we'll go in with the cheese. You don't want cheese on top, don't put cheese on top. This is mature cheddar. And it was mature cheddar that I added as well to the sauce. I just sprinkled on some smoked paprika. And there it was when it come out the oven and dished up. You can see all the fish in there. Num num. And that's what we had over the last week or so, guys. So welcome back to a whole new year. We'll see what we've got for this year. Thank you so much for all your support last year. Let's hope this year's just as good. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.